She wasn't begging. She never had to. She just needed one C-TAN, a Black Hawk already spinning up for a medevac run north. But when she approached the flight line, they didn't see a soldier, just a name missing from the manifest. A place like Camp Thornfield, that meant no access, no debate, no exceptions. She took a single step back, no protest, no plea, just a quiet exhale. That's when a colonel turned, mid-stride, and froze. Not at her face, not at her stance. His eyes locked on a barely visible patch beneath her sleeve. A black phoenix wrapped in a dagger, faded, threadbare, impossible. That symbol wasn't just classified, it was erased. 2 words slipped from the colonel's mouth. The flight line stopped breathing. You want to know what he said? And why that moment rewrote the chain of command? Keep watching. Camp Thornfield was a brutal place. Staging zone for ops they never talked about. If you didn't wear the right tags, you were treated like dust. If you didn't have credentials, you didn't exist. The air here didn't just sting, it branded you. Aviation fuel, gun oil, sweat, and the distant echo of rotor blades slicing the desert sky. Black Hawks stood idle, baking under the sun. A few Apaches buzzed. The horizon like sharks circling blood, and walking through that heat like a ghost that refused to vanish was her sergeant. First Class Nadia Patel. No unit patch, no rank, no visible ID. Just a duffel slung over one shoulder. And a limp she didn't bother hiding anymore. Syria had taken a chunk of her, but it hadn't slowed her down. She moved like she'd memorized every threat pattern from Kandahar to FALL, UJAH. She approached the 2 MPs with quiet authority. Afternoon, gentlemen. Sergeant Patel. I need a seat north. No, I'm not on the manifest. The younger guard didn't even glance up. Manifest full. No walk-ons. The older one added, orders are orders. Next rotation's tomorrow. She nodded once. No argument.
No.
Just stepped aside and sat on a rusted ammo crate, blistering in the sun.
Ow.
Watching the bird she needed begin final checks. That's when the whispers started. 2 fresh lieutenants strolled past, cocky and clueless. Who brings a duffel to a combat evac? One snorted. Probably some admin girl chasing adrenaline. The other laughed. Bet she's never even seen action. Nadia didn't flinch. She'd heard worse. In jungles, in caves, in corridors of power, where even her name was redacted. She kept her eyes on the chopper, because Malik was up there bleeding, alone. He'd called her before sunrise. A garbled sat signal, ma'am. It's Jamal. Took a hit. Chest bad, i.e., he hesitated. They're saying surgery, but I trust you more. That was all it took. She was on her feet before he finished. Orders. No chain of command. Just the kind of promise forged in war. If you call, I come. That was when the mechanic saw it. Just a glimpse of the patch as she shifted her duffel. His face paled. His wrench hit the ground. 10 seconds later, hold up. Colonel Marcus Hale. Decorated, battle-scarred. Eyes like razors. His voice cut clean through the flight line noise. Everyone. Turned, he walked up slow, staring at her sleeve like it held a ghost. That's Shadow Ascent, he whispered. Mosul, 2009, double quote, silence dropped like a hammer. Even the helicopter seemed to stop spinning. Nadia stood. Tail gunner, she said. The colonel swallowed hard. You flew Overwatch when the exfil went sideways. We lost 4. Would have lost 20 more. His jaw clenched. You held the flank, while we bled. He turned. Flight led. Get her on that Black Hawk, right now. An MP ran. One of the lieutenants stepped forward, pale. Sir, who you don't have clearance to ask? Hale snapped. That patch doesn't exist on paper. But I was. There, the crew scrambled. Nadia's duffel was loaded. The soldiers who mocked her stood frozen, realization curdling in their throats. One tried to apologize. Ma'am, we didn't know. She didn't blink. You didn't ask. Colonel Hale walked her to the ramp. Just before she boarded, he paused. Not a favor, he said quietly. A correction. He saluted. She returned it not out of courtesy. Out of respect earned in fire, the rotor blades kicked up dust. Inside, the Black Hawk rumbled back to life. As they lifted off, Thornfield fell away, and behind them, a story began to spread like wildfire. The woman with no name tape. No orders. Just a patch they weren't supposed to see. Shadow ascent. The phantom soldier who answered a call when nobody else could, and left without saying a word.